Hey guys, welcome back to another Eyes of Neji vid. This time we're revisiting Centur-ION. We got first place at a couple locals a while ago with essentially Calamity Turbo, but today we're going to be looking at the current version of Centur-ION, namely the new one, which is just really insanely good. Having a lot of fun with this deck. A lot of people are picking this up. You know, the deck list for me hasn't really changed a ton. I want to do an honorary mention to start real quick. The Centur-ION Chimera that I pulled. Copium, I was trying to play this. And, right now it's just not great. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't add anything substantial to the deck as far as your lines that you're using right now. I haven't figured out any current lines that enable this to be a better card to set off of, like Emblem of Oath, for example. Going to a board to break it. I think that would be the best use case is like, you have this out first and then you're trying to use... like you're trying to go this first and then Premier a normal summon effect, kind of protecting your plays in that sense. But it hasn't been justified to use it quite yet. Could be going second side possibly, but yeah, for now it's in the side deck. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. To start, we're going with the 3 Centur-ION Primera. That's obviously standard. People run 3 of it. No need to discuss more about the Primera. The next up, we are running the 3 Trudea. I'm not going to talk about Trudea much either because the 3 and 3 line is really just standard. And then the 1 Gargoyle and the 1 Atri. This is also pretty standard. The Atri comes in clutch a lot of times. I love setting those off during end phase and then just getting another draw. You're essentially getting a Pot of Greed in total just from this card. On top of your searches, so Atri is just insanely good. And the fact that it's a dragon is also kind of funny. That's it for the monsters in the engine. Funny enough, it's really low. We are playing the 3 Emblem of Oath. Misprint Secret Rare, regular secrets, really nice looking. Oath is crazy thanks to the new synchro. We can search it, so that's really awesome. And then for the field spell, obviously we're playing 3 of the field spell and honorary, 1 terraforming, kind of just essentially just 4 field spells. Having access to 3 along with terraforming really helps adjust your lines as far as helping the deck break the board or playing through hand traps. Next up, playing the 1 Bonds and 1 Wake Up. Yeah, I mean, Bonds is crazy good. Sometimes I've thought of playing this at Bonds at 2, just because the effect of Banish to Special comes up a lot when you synchro to chain block, and these are both really good 1-ofs. Bonds might be a 2-of at some point, if Centur-ION does ever get hit. I did decide to play the 2 Phalanx off of Pax list. I chose 2 personally because having the 1 to draw is really nice. Because when you do your standard line, go off of the field spell to pitch 1 and then place, Phalanx is a very good pitch because if they nib you, if you're like playing really aggressive, or even if they don't nib you and they remove any of your synchros, this just allows you to have more continuity with your board and interruption. Like if you don't want this in the grave, it's another layer of interruption. Especially really good. I didn't notice this, but really good against Phantom because it wasn't properly. It has to be special summoned by a certain condition, and it can't be special summoned back by the trap. So. On to the non-engine. Non-engine, we're playing 3 Droll. I felt after discussion with some peers, shout out to Barry and Harry, that Droll is a better option than Nib. Just for the fact that Nib alone still struggles, even though I am playing a lot of hand traps. If I'm just seeing Droll plus Ash, I think Droll does more for the deck itself going second because... it already can play through a decent amount of hand traps, but if I draw Droll 3 engine cards, plus 3 hand traps, including Droll, I'm usually winning. Droll's very impactful, and Nib only impacts the board. Most decks can put out an Omni anyways, so Nib's most of the time dead in hand, and this is going to be live 9 times out of 10. So I am sticking with the Lockbird. Next up, we're playing 1, 2, 3 Imperm. 3 Imperm, it's an anomalous per turn. It's probably honestly the best hand trap in the game next to Dominus Impulse. I would be playing Impulse if I wasn't locked into, or not locked, but if it only had 1 attribute, I think it's light, I would be playing Impulse for sure. Next up, still the most generic and best, maybe not best hand trap, but the most generic hand trap in the game, so you do want to pair this with a lot of the other hand traps. Next up, we are going Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is really good. I don't like it in decks that can't afford the space, but honestly, right now in the meta, if you can have the space, you should be playing Veiler. You know, having 2 of them in hand is still very good. Just 2 interruptions during your opponent's main phase while they're trying to build a board or any interruption. Veiler is just a very solid card. Sure, it turns on tactics, but I think the risk outweighs the reward. Or sorry, the reward outweighs the risk. You know what I meant. Next up, 2 Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre I was considering replacing with Bell, but I think Ghost Ogre just works as a board breaker as well. I wasn't trying to rhyme there, but haha, I did. It also helps in the sense of Tenpai. Obviously, you get to pop the field spell, and it has Amina cards, and Ghost Ogre does come up a lot, and even in the mirror match. The mirror match, this thing's crazy. If your opponent doesn't sequence it right. Obviously, you have to have a Centurion monster, but if they only have the field spell, it goes crazy. Next up, we are playing the 2 Mourner. Ghost Mourner, just good against Tenpai and Shifter decks because of the discard and just another generic negate on summon. So really just a solid card overall. And then the Brandon package. So we are playing the 3 Lubellion. Lubellion, really good. Normally, if I don't want to play into Droll and I need a search, like if it's Terraforming, Lubellion, and like 3 or 4 hand traps, usually I'll just Terraforming first and then Lubellion, because I'd rather, because Terraforming is a 1-card combo start along with the field spell, so I'd rather just have the Terraforming. But Lubellion's insane. Obviously, we're playing the Regained, see it there, the Regain with the Lubellion package, as well as the other Bestials, the 1 Mag, the 1 Drury, the 1 Baldrake. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of the DD Crow of the deck, right? Like you're getting consistent graveyard interaction most of the time with these cards, and really hurts the Yubel Fiendsmith and any really Fiendsmith package. I think these cards are insanely good. Bestials are probably the MVP of the format, best if you weren't including the Molchummies. Onto our extra deck. Shout out to Brandon here if he's watching the video. He got me a couple of these extra deck monsters, but to start we'll go for Primera Primus, or Primus, however you want to pronounce it. Insanely good card. Yeah, not much else to say. It's just it's so good. It gets you so much advantage. Reborns lets you synchro. We are playing the 2 Legacia, mandatory. I feel like still you get to draw. Helps you go second. The 1 Auxilla, I feel like the Auxilla hasn't been needed at 2 yet. 1's been just fine until Cash comes back in the format for whatever reason. The 1 Crimson Dragon, shout out to Brandon. The 1 Crimson Dragon lets you get into the double Blazar, which is ridiculous. Blazar in itself is just a crazy card. The 1 Dispatter, the 1 Chaos Angel, these are Synchro 10s. Case Thunder comes up a lot. Dispatter only comes up really for me when I have access to Bestial stuff. The 1 Packbit, like very kind of toolboxy, but I like it that way. Hasn't come up yet, but like funny things, if you bench a Snake Eyes, it's treated as a continuous trap and not a continuous spell. So that's kind of funny. So, and then we got SP and IP. This is just really MVP a lot of times to just kind of have generic removal, especially in a deck that kind of lacks going second removal. And then the 2, another time card. This is going to be Gaga eventually, but haven't made this really yet. Haven't made this yet, luckily, but it's supposed to be Gaga and our time card essentially. But I may leave it as the level 8 because even the level 8 going second is a time card you get to burn for more than Gaga. So, yeah, that's really it for the extra deck. Show you my sides real quick. Here, sides are going to be 3 Cosmic, 3 Retaliating Sea. The Retaliating Sea's MVP a lot of times. 3 Parelia, 3 Fuelos, we're missing the 3rd one, and 3 Deck Lockdown. Deck Lockdown's insane with the Auxilla combo. And if you guys are looking at, or if you want combo vids, just drop a comment below and let me know. Like, subscribe if you enjoy the deck list, and yeah, have a good day, gamers.